This morning we're going to do pancakes. And the flour that I use, well, I like using the millet flour the best. That was the original recipe. However, sorghum flour works just as well. So use that too, and it'll be just fine. Now then we have the other usual suspects. We have some salt, baking powder, a little bit of cinnamon. We have some non-sugar maple flavored syrup, and we have some other non-sugar sweeteners we're going to use. So the recipe is pretty quick and easy. You're going to use half a cup of the flour, not a full cup, so half cup. Add that in. You're going to want to add a teaspoon of sweetener. Now in this case I'm using the baking sugar just because it's powdery. So we're going to add our sugar in, well, our sugar substitute, monk fruit. You're going to add a dash of salt. Then you're going to want to add your baking powder. Here we go. Okay, so for baking powder, we want, and try and get this exact on the baking powder because it can make a difference. This is a half teaspoon here. Now, if you're going to pan fry these, half a teaspoon should be fine. But because I'm microwaving these, I'm going to add a quarter more. So that's for the microwave recipe, an additional. Okay, so you've got those ingredients in. You can even add, especially for sorghum, sometimes it helps to add a little bit of cinnamon, but I wouldn't use too much. Maybe 1/8 teaspoon, something like that. Okay, so those are our dry ingredients. And we want to mix these together real well. Use a spoon or a fork or something. Get them mixed up here before you add your wet ingredients. Okay. Now the next step is we want to add 1/3 cup of milk, not a quarter. So we get rid of the quarter. We don't want that. We want 1/3. Don't add much more than 1/3. You might even try adding a little, not the full third, but add it as you see, depending on the thickness you get. I tend to stir this together a little bit before I add the final ingredient. Final ingredient is going to be 1 egg. And we want to mix all this up really good into a nice batter. It shouldn't be too soupy. If it's too soupy, the pancake's going to thin out. Get this mixed up really good. You see, that's not too soupy. But you do want to get stirred together real well. You really want your ingredients mixed in. So you don't want it clumpy. It should be smooth. So it's smoothing out now. See, it's a lot smoother than it was. And you can keep stirring this however long you feel you need to get a nice smooth consistency there. Okay, now once you have that, because we're going to go into the microwave, I suggest you oil the plate. Either coconut oil is fine, maybe avocado oil. But what I like to do sometimes is I just like to take a stick of butter and rub the plate with butter. Just so it's greased up. Now then we take our pancake mix, pour out about half. And there we go. That'll work. So now then, we're going to pop this in the microwave. I'm going to go over here. Again, my microwave is a pretty powerful one. The reason I mention that is because you may need to cook it longer than I do. Okay, so then I set it up and I cook it for 60 seconds until done. And here we go, we have our finished product, a pancake. Now the next part is taking care of the syrup for it. So the syrup we're using Lakanto. This is made with chicory root instead of sugar. And I'll pour some of this in here. Now what I found with this syrup is if you taste it right out of the bottle, it doesn't taste very good. If you're used to tabletop syrup, it definitely won't taste right. If you've had real maple syrup and you know what that tastes like, this is definitely closer to real maple syrup flavor. Now, to doctor this up a little bit, you can add a little bit of cinnamon, not too much, just a little bit. But what I found works really well is you take some butter. And maybe this is about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more. And you put it in here, and you're going to heat this up. Okay, so we're going to put this in here. And we're going to heat it up. You just do it for about 10 seconds. You don't want to overdo it. So we'll let this go ahead and you just want to get that butter melted a little bit. Okay, that's enough. As you can see, the butter melted down a little bit, but not all the way. And you want to stir this up a little bit. And just let it mix in. Wow, this smells really good. And if you really like to have buttered up pancakes, add a little more butter on top before you pour the warm maple syrup on. I really like a lot of butter on my pancakes. Anyways, we've got that. Let me grab a fork. Okay, so now you got your quick fix pancake. By the way, this recipe does 2. Pour your syrup on top. Should be enough. And then you'll find that you get a nice, cakey-like texture out of this. Again, because it's microwave, we're using additional baking powder. But for microwave, you almost need that extra baking powder to get the cakiness to occur. Well, that tastes great. Really is close to maple syrup. Texture of the pancake is very close to pancake. So this is a quick, fast way to whip up some comfort food. And once again, you can use millet flour as well. So millet or sorghum, either or works really good. And as far as the third cup of milk goes, you could use cream, or you could use some milk powder. And if you're really out of those, you could use water, but I think the milk gives it a little bit more texture. Okay, well there you have it. Enjoy.